What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Trillionaire Mac. Welcome back to another YouTube video. So in this video, as you all can see from the title, we are going to be talking about structure, okay? Specifically breaks of structure. So I've gotten some questions about how do I know, whether structure has broken or whether or not I am now looking for a certain order block in a certain area. And that also ties back into structure. So what we're going to be doing in this video, we're going to talk about the three different types of structure um, that you can identify. We're going to talk about which structure I like to identify with. Okay. We're going to talk about my favorite, and then we're going to go over some examples as well. Now, before we get into it, we're going to start off with this mock-up right here. Okay. So let's assume price comes from let's extend this out just a little bit. So we'll highlight this. Hold on one second. Let's see. Okay, so we'll highlight this. We'll put this right here. Okay, so let's say price comes from a lower high right up here. Okay, let's say it creates a lower low right down here. All right, we have another lower high right here, and then we have another lower low right here. Okay, so how do I know when price has broken structure in order to use the previous order block? Okay, so before we get into that, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about what we see right here. So right here, this would be considered our order block. Right? So this is our last up candle before the down move, and we can see that price breaks structure, how I like to look at structure. Okay, and so I'll show you guys all three, but I'm going to overall show you kind of my favorite, so to speak, okay, within this entire area. Let's see, let's make this black, turn off bold, and then we'll put it right there is fine, actually. Okay, so we would use this as an order block right here. The reason being is because this is the last up candle before the down move with the liquidity void. Not only do we see a liquidity void here, but we also see imbalance in market structure, inefficiency in market structure right here. Okay, within the market. And we're going to I'm going to release another video probably this week talking about inefficient market prices and efficient market prices. So right here we have imbalance within this area right here. Okay, this would be our order block, and then based on how I refine my order block, because the very next candle looks like this, okay, I would refine my order block right here automatically. All right, and if you're a student of mine, then you know exactly why I do that. Okay, and then we see price push to the downside. So this area right here has a lot of confluence if this were a real live trade. All right, so now let's get into our market structure, our breaks of market structure. So there's three different ways. The first way you can look at a break of structure is going to be body breaks wick. Okay, so that's going to be my favorite, looking at a body break a wick. So in that case right here, okay, this would be our lower low. Right here, we see price rallies to create a lower high, and then we see a push to the downside where this candlestick body right here breaks this lower low right here. Okay, so that's the first way. The first way is honestly, in my opinion, the easiest way to identify market structure. You're going to be on the right side of things, okay, at least 90% of the time. But it's very, very easy to identify, and you're not going to get mixed up with, is this a break? Is this not a break? What should I do? Right now, let's say this order block right here caused price to move down right here, and then let's say we push to the upside. In that case, this would not be an order block. Okay, an order block is only valid if we break structure, and then to add even more confluence, if you see imbalance in price. Okay, so right here, this is an imbalance, it's inefficient, which we will get into in a different video. Okay, so that's going to be your first break of structure. Body breaks wick, and it's honestly my favorite. All right, our second is going to be a body breaks a body. Okay, so you can use this way if you would like to. I find it not to be as accurate as I find it not to be as accurate as a body breaks a wick, but you can still use this. Okay, so right here we see that this is our lower low. We're not going to count the wicks. Okay, we're just going to pay attention to the bodies of the candles. We see that price rallies away and then pushes to the downside, and we see that this candle right here closes a little bit beneath. Okay, the close of this bearish candle, okay, is below the open of this bullish candle. So this right here in a real life scenario would be considered a break of structure right here. Okay, so like I said, it's not really what I like to use, mainly because normally in a situation like this, you could just see price push right back to the upside and just reject this area overall. Okay, so I like to see a full body closure, okay, that breaks a wick instead of just seeing a body break a body. Okay, and then the last is going to be a wick breaks a wick. Now, this one right here is going to be a little bit more advanced. This is not going to be for beginners, and the reason being is because you're going to see a lot of breaks within the market if you're going to look at a wick breaking a wick. Okay, so if we want to do it like that, all right, we would pay attention to this wick right here, and we would consider market structure being broken once we see that another wick closes below. But what could happen in this scenario, right? What could happen is we could see price push to the downside, break market structure, okay, and then completely reject and push back to the upside. So you would possibly be looking for sells right here with this order block, okay? But, you know, if there's only a wick that pushes below this area, right, and then we see a rejection, then price could just start to carry back to the upside, and that's something that we have to keep in mind. Okay, so because of that, I love to use body breaks wick. All right, it's going to be the most seamless, it's going to be the easiest, it's going to make sure that you're on the right side of things more times than not. All right, if you guys do want to join my mentorship program, feel free to check out the link in the description down below. All of my mentorship students see the market exactly how I see it. They have access to my courses, all of my recorded content, and if you're someone who wants to take my trade recommendations, feel free to click the first link in the description so you can take advantage of my trades. All right. So now let's get into more examples. All right. So now that we're done with this area, and remember, we are going to talk about imbalances as well. There's imbalance right here. We had a break of structure, so that solidifies this order block. So in this case, we'd be waiting for price to trade back into our order block, give us an entry, and then continue to push to the downside. All right. So that would be the example that we'd be waiting on for this area. All right, so now let's go through some examples of breaks of structure. Give me 1 second, guys. I need to go get my charger really quickly. So you guys might see a little cut and edit here, but it's all good. And we are good. All right, so now let's look at some real live examples. Okay, so we can just start on the H1 time frame over here. And remember, I'm going to show you guys the first version. okay, the version that I use day in and day out whenever I'm analyzing the market. I really don't care too much for bodies of the candlestick breaking bodies, and I really don't care too much for wicks breaking wicks. I like to see bodies breaking wicks, okay? So we can see that we have a high right here, a lower high right here within this area. Price pushes down. I normally look at breaks of structure as it relates to swing lows and swing highs, okay? If I just see a high and a low and it's not really, an intermediate high or low, it's not really going to be something that I'm going to put too much emphasis on unless I'm on the lower time frame. But if I'm on the H1, I'm really going to be focusing on the swing highs, the swing lows, things like that. So right here we can see we have a swing high, price pushes to the downside, and then price pushes to the upside, okay, off of an order block right here within this area. Why is this going to be the order block? And really I would consider this candle right here the order block. All right, and I'll go over the reason why. So what I'm doing right now is an example of what I would be doing with students, okay, if they're having difficulty with, let's say, selecting an order block or selecting or figuring out, market structure, breaks of structure, things like that. Now, as we can see, when price comes back to this order block, we did push off of this order block, push back to the upside to tag an order block that was printed previously, okay, right here within this area. But remember, this would be counter trend, right? So I'm not too crazy about counter trend sells or counter trend buys unless we are buying into a sell order block or selling into a buy order block. All right, those are the only ways that I'll counter trend. So in this case right here, we can see that this would be our order block. We have an imbalance of price right here where there's just pure buyers, okay? And then price pushes up to break structure, right? We see a candlestick closure, candlestick body closure above this wick. Perfect, that's what I like to see. We see price pushes up, pushes down, okay? We have more structure, and then we have another order block right here, okay? We see the liquidity void push to the downside, candlestick body right here, breaking wick at our swing low, perfect, break of structure. Travel back to the upside. So in this area right here, I would not consider this a break of structure, right? I would not consider a wick, this wick right here, breaking this wick. I would not consider price going or moving to the downside just yet, okay? But seeing this right here, right? Seeing this body candlestick closure above this wick, I would consider this, especially on the lower time frame, a break of structure. Okay? Then we push down, we push up, tested highs right here, push to the downside, price breaks this wick right here. I would consider that a break of structure. We push back to the upside. This is where we took our entry on the lower time frame for our AUD USD trade right here. Okay? Price pushes to the downside. Candlestick body closure below our wick, which there's barely any on the H1 candle, break of structure, so on and so forth. All right, so within this area, I just gave you guys plenty of examples of how I like to look at breaks of structure. So remember, I'm always going to pay attention to a body candle, a candlestick body, closing above or below a wick, breaking a wick. Okay, that's how I like to look at structure. So whenever you are looking for your order blocks, okay, just like we talked about earlier, whenever you're looking for your order blocks, make sure your order blocks gives price enough momentum to break structure. Okay, and then all you have to do is select which type of structure you want to use. Okay, right here. So whether or not you want to use a body breaking a wick, a body breaking a body, or a wick breaking a wick. All right, so that's going to be up to you to decide. Make sure you guys backtest. Make sure you guys study. Make sure you guys pull up plenty of examples and things like that. and then you're going to decide which one you want to use. All right. Now, all of my mentorship students, you guys know this, the ins and outs to how I look at structure. I just wanted to drop a video because I got a question on how I look at structure in Confluence with order blocks. So now you guys are kind of seeing piece by piece my trading style. And if you want all of that to be tied together very seamlessly, okay, you need to join our mentorship program. All right, I want to help elevate your trading. I want to help take your trading to the next level. I've over 2.5 years of experience. I learned from an institutional trader. My uncle is an institutional trader, and he taught me all the tricks of the trade. And that is exactly how I see the markets now. So I see the markets from an institutional standpoint, not a retail standpoint. All right. If you want access to all of my trades, well, you will see a lot of these examples yourself. Okay. Click the first link in the bio and come trade with me for less than $1 a day. Right. You get to receive my profitable trade setups for less than $1 a day. Just hit that link in the description, the first link, access to my trades, and join Trillionaire Mac Trades. All right. We are going to be doing a live trading with Trillionaire Mac in August. Okay, so in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to be giving away one full season membership to a lucky subscriber. All right. So what is entailed with live trading with Trillionaire Mac? What's entailed is I'll basically, for 4 weeks straight, okay, Tuesday through Thursday, I'll be breaking down the charts day by day, okay, and you guys will be taking those trades right along with me. So not only will you be receiving trades into Trillionaire Mac Trades Telegram channel, but you'll also see me break down those trades live, okay, so you'll know the reasoning behind why I'm entering where I'm entering, why I'm looking at what I'm looking at, things like that. All right. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. Make sure you guys check out that description. We will be doing a crypto giveaway on the next trade breakdown, as well as make sure you guys subscribe, hit that thumbs up, click that bell notification icon to be updated whenever I upload a new video. And thank you guys for all the support. I really appreciate it. And, I'm just glad to be doing this. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.